The receipt on the counter says 10:42. Your handwriting curved like you didn't mean to. You circled my name, then crossed it halfway, like the pen caught a thought you wouldn't say. There's a green chair pulled out just a bit too far, like someone stood up but stayed where they are. You looked at the window instead of me, but your reflection told me everything. You said it without meaning to. In the space between what you tried to do, it slipped through the quiet like a hidden clue. You said it without meaning to. I caught it in the way you paused mid-line, like a song that changes without a sign. You said it without meaning to tonight. Now it's looping in my mind, just right. Not the words, but the way they move, like you almost let the truth come through. You said it without meaning to tonight, and I keep replaying every slight. The playlist name reads "Don't Overthink," but you skipped 3 songs before the brink. Your phone face down, but your thumb's still near, like you were waiting for something clear. There's a bookstore stamp on your worn notebook. You flipped past pages I almost took. Every line you wrote leaned into doubt, but one sentence tried to wander out. You said it without meaning to. In a sideways glance I followed through. It wasn't loud, but it rang so true. You said it without meaning to. I caught it in the way you paused mid-line, like a rhythm drifting out of time. You said it without meaning to tonight. Now if it's like something I can't rewrite, not the sound but the subtle cue, like you almost let the real you through. You said it without meaning to tonight, and it's staying like a borrowed light. Maybe it lives in the things we hide, in the almost words we set aside, in the ink that smudges before it dries, in the truth that never fully tries. I can hear it in the quiet room, like a thought that started to bloom. You said it without meaning to tonight, and it shifted everything inside. Not a promise, not a clear-cut view, just a doorway slightly pulled into. You said it without meaning to tonight, and I stepped through without asking why. The receipt still folded in my coat, your unfinished sentence like a note. You said it without meaning to, but now I know what you almost do.
The kettle clicked at 7:18 on the stove. A stripe of sun cut clean across the sink. A cracked blue mug leaned close to the edge. A folded receipt whispered we forgot the sugar again. The hallway clock sounded louder than usual. The window fog held shapes I didn't plan. You stood there smiling at the quiet in the room, saying this is the morning nobody expected. We always rush past this kind of light, but time sat down and stayed with us. The coffee traced a line across the tile, like something small deciding to change. This is the morning nobody expected, the one where plans just missed the train. We left the door half open for the breeze and watched the ordinary rearrange. You said keep the mug with the chip blue corner. I said keep the note with the faded line. We traded habits for a softer rhythm. In the morning nobody expected. The radio played a song we never saved. Your jacket hung uneven on the chair. A bookstore stamp slipped out from your old bag, dated on a day that never met us. Circled 718 on the calendar page, like it was more than just a time. Caught my reflection pausing in the glass, like I recognized something new. We used to count the hours by the noise, now silence carries something clear. The sunlight moved across the counter slow, stayed a second longer than before. This is the morning nobody expected, the one where lists forgot their place. We let the plans unravel on the table and let the small things lead the way. You said keep the mug with the chip blue corner, I said keep the note with the fading words. We traded schedules for a softer rhythm in the morning nobody expected. I chased the clock like it owed me answers. Now it blinks 718 like a quiet sign. The receipt, the mug, the pencil, little letters turned a passing hour into something we could keep. We didn't fix the sugar or the missing item, we fixed the way we noticed what we had. This is the morning nobody expected, but now it feels like something we could choose. We left the door half open for the daylight and watched the ordinary turn warm. You said keep the mug with the chip blue corner, I said keep the note with the steady line. We traded rushing for a softer rhythm in the morning nobody expected. The kettle cooled and time moved to 719, but something stayed exactly where it was. We carried that small shift into the hallway like it belonged to every day ahead. This is the morning nobody expected.
You left it like you always do, on a backrest facing the room. Sleeves still folded like you'll return before the evening starts to turn. There's a receipt inside the pocket from a place we never talk at, and I keep noticing it there. That jacket on your chair, I didn't think it meant that much, just something you forgot to touch. But it stays like you never left, like a pause that hasn't happened yet. Every time I pass it by, it pulls me back into that night. You said you'd only be a while, now it's been longer than denial. Still I act like you're just there, and that jacket on your chair. The clock hit 9 and slipped to 12. I told myself not to dwell. The playlist looped the same 3 songs, like it knew something was wrong. There's a crease along the collar where you leaned in just a little closer. I didn't move, it didn't dare. That jacket on your chair, I didn't think I'd read this deep into something you didn't keep. But it stays like you never left, like a breath I haven't taken yet. Every time I cross the room, it feels like you'll be here soon. You said you'd only be a while, now it lingers in your style. And I'm caught in this repair with that jacket on your chair. Maybe you just lost track of time, or maybe I just lost what's mine. It's funny how a simple thing can hold a quiet that jacket on your chair. Tonight I almost moved it off, but stopped before I took it off. Somehow it feels unfair to change the scene without you there. So I leave it like a prayer. That jacket on your chair.
The receipt is folded twice inside your book, ink leaning sideways like it never quite stood up. On the corner table near the window fan, your name slips diagonal across my afternoon. I read it like a street that doesn't follow rules. The letters drift like chairs we never move. There's a smudge where maybe coffee touched the line. It feels like something said, but not in time. I keep turning it, but it won't stand straight, like it prefers the angle we first made. Your name written sideways on a paper day, not loud enough to call, not gone away. I trace the tilt and let it lead my eyes, somewhere between hello and almost tried it. Your name written sideways, soft and true. It doesn't face the world, it leans to you. I keep it where the quiet moments stay. Your name written sideways changes everything. The clock says 3:17 above the shelf. A faded sticker peels beside the tea we left. You underlined a word but missed the line. It drifts like how you paused mid-sentence that time. I notice how the slant avoids the edge, like it's protecting what we never said. The bookstore stamp is crooked on the page. We laughed about it, didn't fix the angle. I stopped correcting things I used to change. The tilt begins to feel like home again. Your name written sideways on a paper day, not loud enough to call, not gone away. I trace the tilt and let it lead my eyes, somewhere between hello and almost tried. Your name written sideways, soft and true. It doesn't face the world, it leans to you. I keep it where the quiet moments stay. Your name written sideways changes everything. If it was straight, I might have read it wrong. Just another line to pass along. But a turn like this, it holds a different light. A small shift changing how I read the night. I used to wish for clearer, bolder signs. Now I like the way it slips the lines. Your name written sideways, am I in between? Not quite a plan, not just a memory. I let the angle teach me how to stay a little off the path, a softer way. Your name written sideways, close to mine. We don't correct it, we just let it lie. I keep it where the quiet moments play. Your name written sideways changes everything. On a folded receipt in a borrowed book, your name leans gentle like a second look. I'll leave it as it is and close the day. A name written sideways finds its way.
Vinyl spinning soft on a wooden stand. across your hand. Coffee cooling down beside a book. I stop mid-page just to take a look. The music fades but no one moves. Like the quiet has its own groove. It's the sound between two songs where the moment floats along. Need a rest in holding space. Lights still warming up the place. We stay in that gentle pause, like we let go of our thoughts. In the sound between two songs, time is easy, nothing wrong. Chair pulled halfway from the table edge. A trace of warmth where someone sat instead. Outside the street keeps passing by, but in here it's a softer kind of time. I walked in thinking I'd just stay. Now I don't feel the need to rush away. It's the sound between two songs where the moment floats along. Need a rest and holding space. Lights still warming up the place. We stay in that gentle pause, like we let go of our thoughts. In the sound between two songs, time is easy, nothing wrong. No melody to follow through. Still I'm here, still I'm with you. In the space the music leaves, there's a calm I didn't see. It's the sound between two songs where the quiet feels so strong. Not the start or what comes next, just the part we don't expect. We stay in that gentle pause, like we forgot about the clock. In the sound between two songs, I could stay here all day long.
The platform clock freezes at 7:12 in green glow. A folded receipt in my pocket says where to go. Your train reflection flickers before you appear. I keep arriving 3 minutes too early here. The coffee cart rattles with cinnamon air. A bent little ticket I keep like a dare. Someone laughs loudly then fades into gray. I count the seconds like they might delay. 3 minutes too early is my usual place. Standing with time that won't keep your pace. 3 minutes too early, I'm stuck in the gap between your arrival and this quiet map. I watch every door like it might say your name, but timing keeps playing its small gentle game. 3 minutes too early, I stay in between the you that is coming and one I have seen. Yeah. Your message said 7:15 with the blue dot sign. I read it again like it might realign. A scratched metal bench with the sticker half gone says take your time like it's been there too long. A coin spins wildly then falls without sound. I wonder if timing just circles around. The speaker announces a name passing through. I trace every letter imagining you. 3 minutes too early, I'm still right here with cool and paper cup and nothing severe. 3 minutes too early, I'm learning to wait without trying to push every second to fate. I watch people gather then drift back apart. I'm early to moments that start in the heart. 3 minutes too early feels softer somehow, like missing you gently is happening now. At 7:14 the numbers blink slow. I stop chasing minutes and let them just go. The train slides in steady, like part of a plan. And being too early just makes who I am. It's a quiet small corner the city can't see, where time is isn't rushing ahead of me. 3 minutes too early, it shifts how I feel, turns waiting for you into something more real. 3 minutes too early, I'm starting to see the space I've been holding was shaping me. I watch the doors open, I don't need to move. The rhythm of waiting has found its own groove. 3 minutes too early, I finally know some moments need space just to quietly grow. The clock turns 7:15 in soft green light. The receipt settles back like it's finally right. Your reflection arrives standing next to me, right where the early becomes what will be.
At the corner table by the bakery tray, flour dust hanging in the late day haze. A coffee cup cool and untouched for a while. Sunlight drawing lines across every tile. The bell on the door rang softer than before, and the room got quieter somehow. I was halfway out, jacket over my arm. Then you said it and I turned around. You said it like a joke, leaning back in your chair, like it didn't mean much, just filling the air. But the spoon in my cup stopped circling slow, and the light on the table refused to let go. You said it like a joke, but it stayed in the room, like a chair still warm in the afternoon. A napkin folded twice, then left by your hand. Crumbs tracing shapes I don't understand. Someone stacked cups near the window with care, while the music changed and nobody stared. Rain had stopped, but we didn't notice when people lingered longer than they planned. I was ready to leave, keys already in place. Then your words settled in again. You said it like a joke, leaning back in your chair, like it didn't mean much, just filling the air. But the spoon in my cup stopped circling slow, and the light on the table refused to let go. You said it like a joke, but it stayed in the room, like a chair still warm in the afternoon. Maybe you meant it, maybe you didn't, but it softened the edges of everything here. The window stayed open, the street moving slow, and suddenly leaving didn't feel as clear. You said it like a joke, but it shifted the day, like sunlight deciding it wanted to stay. And the coffee went cold, but I didn't mind. There was something different in the design. You said it like a joke, but it changed how it felt, like a quiet kind of comfort I hadn't been dealt.
A ceramic cup leaves a ring on the table. Sunlight leans through a half-open window. A notebook rests with one page folded. Steam from the coffee disappears slow. The door chimes once, then settles quiet. Someone stays longer than they planned. I was halfway through a passing thought. Then you turned and asked again. It wasn't loud, just simple timing, like the song switching in the room. Something small, but now it's holding more space than it should. One question later, the afternoon changed. The chair near the window still holding your shape. Coffee went cooler, but I didn't mind. The light crossed the floor, taking its time. One question later, nothing the same. A moment stretched out past its frame. In a room full of ordinary things. One question later, everything stayed. A spoon left resting beside your cup, a line you drew in the edge of a page. The street outside moved without us, shadows shifting in quiet ways. The music softened without notice, the room somehow felt more clear. I came in just to pass an hour, now I'm still sitting here. It wasn't planned, no grand intention, just a pause that turned to stay, like catching light on something simple. You almost looked away. One question later, the afternoon changed. The chair near the window still holding your shape. Coffee went cooler, but I didn't mind. The light crossed the floor, taking its time. One question later, nothing the same. A moment stretched out past its frame. In a room full of ordinary things. One question later, everything stayed. The cup left a mark that didn't fade, your voice still resting in the space. The page we started never closed, and I forgot what I came for. One question later, the afternoon stayed. The window still open, the same soft haze. Coffee long finished, but I remain, watching the light rewrite the day. One question later, simple and strange, how something small can rearrange. In a room full of passing things. One question later, everything stayed.
The window's open just a little wide. A paper napkin lifts, then settles by. There's a coffee ring you left behind, and the sunlight slowly crossing mine. The playlist softened without a cue, like the room leaned in to hear from you. You traced the rim of your empty cup, like something quiet was coming up. I saw it forming in your pause, in the space between your thoughts, a sentence almost finding shape, then pulling back before it stayed. You almost told me in the afternoon light, when the shadow of your chair touched mine. There was something in the way you stayed, like you missed your moment, let it fade. You almost told me by the cooling cup, when the last bit of steam gave up on us. It lingered in the air between all the words. You almost let me see. A book lay open but didn't move. You kept the same page in your view. Outside the street grew soft and slow, like even time didn't wanna go. Someone left and the bell rang low, but neither clear and true, then slipping out of reach from you. You almost told me in the afternoon light, when the shadow of your chair touched mine. There was something in the way you stayed, like you missed your moment, let it fade. You almost told me by the cooling cup, when the last bit of steam gave up on us. It lingered in the air between all the words you almost let me see. Now the cups are stacked beside the sink, and the light has shifted. Well, I think there's a quiet where you used to be, and a question sitting next to me. Maybe it was never meant to land, just a thought you couldn't quite hand. Still it echoes in the empty room, like a line that ended far too soon. You almost told me in the fading light, when the window dimmed the edge of night. There was something in the way you stayed, like a door half open, turned away. You almost told me, and I felt it too, in the space your words were passing through. Now it lingers in the cafe air, something there, but never fully there.
Seven minutes before closing, chairs lean in a line. A coffee cup with cooling rings stains the edge of mine. Sunlight slides across the floor, reaches for the door. Someone folds a newspaper they won't read anymore. The music changed without a word, and everything felt slower than it was before. 7 minutes before closing, time loosens its hold. The chair by the window still keeps a trace of warmth. Steam disappears like something said but not explained. 7 minutes before closing, I'm glad that I remained. Stack cups behind the counter, catch a fading glow. A barista wipes the surface like a quiet after show. Outside, streetlight flickers, day is stepping back. A door chime rings softer on the last arriving track. No one's rushing for the door, like we all decided to stay a little more. 7 minutes before closing, time loosens its hold. The chair by the window still keeps a trace of warmth. Steam disappears like something said but not explained. 7 minutes before closing, I'm glad that I remained. I came in with a list of things to do. Now I'm watching shadows stretching, losing track of you. Not lonely, just somewhere in between, where ordinary days turn quietly serene. 7 minutes before closing, nothing left to chase. Sunlight's gone, but there's a calm that settles in its place. A cup, a chair, a room that slowly clears the scene. 7 minutes before closing, I stayed and felt the in-between.
Coffee rings fading on a paper page. Chair pulled back like you almost stayed. The rain had already come to a stop. Still I was watching every drop. The weather wasn't the reason you left that day. Sunlight was already on its way, crossing the table, warm in your place. The weather wasn't the reason. I can say the sky turned clear in a quiet display, but your cup stayed full and you walked away. Outside the street, found this rhythm again. Footsteps pass and then fading by 10. The music shifted soft and low. I missed the moment it let go. The clouds were breaking into blue, same as afternoons we knew. The weather wasn't the reason you left that day. Sunlight was already on its way, crossing the table, warm in your place. The weather wasn't the reason. I can't say the sky turned clear in a quiet display, but your cup stayed full and you walked away. Steam disappeared from the second cup. I stayed longer than I planned to enough. The room grew quieter without a sign, like something small redraws a line. The weather wasn't the reason you left that day. Light kept moving anyway, over the chair where you used to lean. The weather wasn't the reason. I can see everything else kept flowing free. Just not you, just not with me.
The vinyl stack leaned by the counter edge. Coffee rings fading on a paper page. Sunlight slid across the tiled floor. Stopped halfway by the open door. A chair stayed pulled from where you sat. Steam disappeared and didn't come back. The room was full, then quietly less, like something paused we couldn't guess. The song cut off mid-easy line. We both looked up at the same time. It was the day the playlist broke, right when the afternoon felt close. No chorus came, just quiet air, and every table turned to stare. The speakers held the missing note, like they forgot the song they wrote. In that small gap we didn't plan, we stayed a little longer than we can. A spoon kept tapping someone's glass, and even that just seemed to pass. The barista laughed and shook her head, let silence settle in instead. Pages turned without a sound, footsteps softened on the ground. The light moved further down the wall and made the whole room feel more small. No one rushed to fill the space. We let the stillness find its place. It was the day the playlist broke, right when the afternoon felt close. No chorus came, just quiet something off, a little pause between the songs to notice cups left half undone, and how the light outlasts the sun. The room got softer, slower too, and I got comfortable with you. It was the day the playlist broke, but somehow that's the part I chose. The empty space, the held back sound, the way the moment settled down. No perfect track, no steady flow, just something real we got to know. In that quiet, we both found a reason not to leave right now.
A ceramic cup leaves a ring on the table. Sunlight slides slowly across your sleeve. The chair beside me stays slightly angled, like someone left but didn't leave. The music changed without us noticing, and the room grew softer in between. It's the song between conversations, floating in the quiet air, in the pause where nothing's spoken, but we're already there. Coffee cooling, time rearranging in the space we didn't plan. It's the song between conversations, playing softer than we can. A window cracked lets the city wander in. Pages turn on a book you don't finish. The spoon rests still in a glass, half empty, and no one rushes to fix it. Someone stayed longer than they intended. Afternoon leaning into ease. It's the song between conversations, drifting through the wooden floor. In the gap between our sentences, there's something more. Light keeps moving, shadows change, and nothing asking us to move. It's the song between conversations, and we let it fill the room. Not every moment needs a meaning, not every silence needs a sound. There's a rhythm in just being here, while everything slows down. It's the song between conversations, in the chair that's still half turned, in the fading line of sunlight on the table where it burns. Coffee rings in quiet patience, holding more than words can say. It's the song between conversations, and we stayed inside its place.
The kitchen light stayed on at 2:13. A folded receipt by the speaker glowing green. Every song I knew was suddenly unseen. Somebody changed the playlist in between. The chip white mug with the bookstore stamp sat where we left it from that quiet plan. But now the rhythm doesn't fit my hand. Somebody changed the playlist, not as I planned. Every track feels like a room you never showed. Little habits in the music overflow. Somebody changed the playlist while I was gone, turned every midnight into earth. about the bus you always take, and a singer smiling through a small mistake. A scratch tracker with the softer break. I never knew the mornings that you make. A handwritten note slipped out from the case with the playlist name I never seen before. Your careful letters filling up the space like you've been opening another door. Every beat is something I ignored before. Now it's knocking gently at the door. Somebody changed the playlist while I was gone. Replace the noise with a quieter song. It sounds like you in ways I missed before. Like I've been standing at a different door. I thought I knew the way your silence played, but there were melodies you never gave. Now every lyric shows the things you saved, and I'm just hearing all the space you made. Somebody changed the playlist, and I can tell there's more of you in every detail. It's not confusion, it's a clear view. Like I've been listening without hearing you. The kitchen clock turns to 29. I let the last song redraw the line. I don't go back, I let it unwind. Somebody changed the playlist, and I don't mind.
The clock on the wall says 7:03. A paper cup sweating beside your keys. The streetlight flickers like it's learning to breathe, and I'm still here in the hour after 7. The receipt we folded is tucked in my sleeve. Your playlist name reads stay a little longer. The cafe chairs are stacked but we don't leave. We linger in the hour after 7. There's something softer in the way time bends when the day is done but not quite ended. In the hour after 7, everything loosens up. Conversations spill like unplanned luck. The world clocks out but we keep talking on. In the hour after 7, nothing feels rushed. It's the space where maybe turns into just staying a little longer than we planned upon. The window glass holds a ghost of the day. Reflections double every word you say. A neon sign hums in a low blue haze, keeping time in the hour after 7. Your jacket draped on the green chair still, like it decided it belongs here now. We laugh at nothing and somehow it's real in this quiet hour after 7. There's something warmer in the way we stay, like we found a pocket in the day. In the hour after 7, everything loosens up. Conversations spill like unplanned luck. The world clocks out, but we keep talking on. In the hour after 7, nothing feels rushed. It's the space where maybe turns into just staying a little longer than we planned upon. 7:03 turns into 7:42, and the street outside forgets what it's supposed to do. The folded receipt now feels like proof that time can pause in the hour after 7. I came here ready to leave on time. Now I'm counting moments instead of lines. Somewhere between goodbye and one more line, I changed in the hour after 7. In the hour after 7, everything opens wide. Small talk slips and the truth steps inside. The night leans close, but we're not moving on. In the hour after 7, I start to see it's not just times where I wanna be. Staying a little longer feels like home. The clock keeps ticking, but it can't compete with the way this moment quietly repeats. 7:03 is a memory I keep from that first hour after 7. And if tomorrow comes the same again, I'll find my way to this place at 7, just to live in the hour after 7.
The streetlight flickers on the corner bend. paperback swings in my hand again. The bakery windows fogged in glowing gold. Crumbs on the counter, stories getting old. I took the turn I always skip, past the quiet bookstore steps, where a chair's still halfway out, like someone left without a rush. I'm taking the long way home again, where the light leans low through every window pane. A cup gone cold on a table for two, and the world slows down like it wants me to. Every step feels easier than before, on the long, long way home once more. The music changed in the shop behind, a softer tune I didn't mind. A stack of books by the open door shifts a little like they've been moved before. I noticed things I missed all day. The dusting lines are fading, rays, and someone stayed a little late, just watching evening rearrange. I'm taking the long way home again, where the light leans low through every window pane. A cup gone cold on a table for two, and the world slows down like it wants me to. Every step feels easier than before, on the long, long way home once more. I was rushing past these streets, now they're pulling me to breathe. Nothing changed, but everything did in the space I let myself sit. I'm taking the long way home again, past the chair still warm by the window's edge, the quiet hum of a closing room, and the night settling in like a gentle tune. I don't need to hurry anymore, on the long, long way home once more.
Corner bookstore, late afternoon glow, sunlight drifting where the tall shelves go. Coffee ring on a paperback spine, you trace the line I missed the first time. Chair by the window, pulled halfway out, dust in the air, slowly moving about. The bell on the door barely made a sound, and somehow the room just softened down. I walked in rushing with things to do, but the day slowed down when I looked at you. I remember that part by the window light, where the pages turned and it all felt right. The chair stayed warm as the hours passed, like the moment knew it was meant to last. I remember that part, clear and calm, with the quiet resting in your palm. Stacked hard covers leaning close in rows, a folded receipt where the story goes. The music changed to something low, no one noticed but we both know. Rain had ended on the narrow street, leaving soft reflections by our feet. Someone stayed longer than they planned, like time just slipped from their hands. I almost left, but I stayed instead. There was so something in what we never said. I remember that part by the window light, where the pages turned and it all felt right. The chair stayed warm as the hours passed, like the moment knew it was meant to last. I remember that part, clear and calm, with the quiet resting in your palm. It wasn't loud, it wasn't grand, just a small scene I understand. A shifting light, a softened view, and everything led back to you. I remember that part in the fading light, where the shelves turned gold and the day felt light. The chair still there, like it held our place, keeping time in a gentle space. I remember that part, soft and true, every small detail stays with you.
The book lay open by the corner seat, coffee rings fading into page 3. Sunlight slid across the wooden floor. You traced a line we hadn't read before. The room got quieter without a sound. Someone left their chair still halfway out. I meant to ask what happens next, but time just settled in instead. We never finished that story, left it where the daylight bends, on a page with your handwriting, and the part that almost ends. The steam disappeared between us slowly, like a line we couldn't ignore. Ooh, we never finished that story. Ooh, but we stayed a little more. The window cracked to let the cool air in. Pages fluttered like a second wind. The cup gone cold beside your hand. We read the same line twice again. The music changed, I barely noticed when afternoon leaned into evening. Then we said we'd leave in just a while, but lingered past the final line. We never finished that story, left it where the daylight bends, on a page with your handwriting, and the part that almost ends. The steam disappeared between us slowly, ooh, like a line we couldn't ignore. Ooh, we never finished that story. Ooh, but we stayed a little more. Maybe some things don't need an end, just a place to come back to again. A folded corner, quiet proof of something paused but still in view. We never finished that story, still it rests between those lines, in the glow of early evening, and the taste of cooling time. The chair near the window held the moment, like it knew what we were for. We never finished that story, but we stayed a little more.
You left your jacket on the wooden chair again. Receipt from a late night diner folded in the sleeve. The clock said 10:17, but we didn't move. Your playlist paused like it was waiting on a mood. We were halfway through a quiet conversation. Then that track came on, we both pretend to hate. But it's the song we didn't skip this time. Stayed on like a secret we were trying to hide. You tapped the table, I caught your eye. Something shifted in the passing light. Yeah, it's the song we didn't skip tonight. Turned a maybe into something we might like. Didn't say it, but we let it play. All the way, all the way. Streetlight flicker, drawing lines across your face. An empty glass between us, neither in a rush. Your phone lit up, you turned it upside down. Like nothing else could interrupt this sound. We both knew every word was coming. Still we acted like it caught us off guard. It is the song we didn't skip this time. Stayed on like a memory rewinding slow. Your shoulder brushed against mine, and suddenly I didn't mind the clothes. Yeah, it's the song we didn't skip tonight. Felt like hearing it for the first time. Funny how a simple thing can change when you stay, when you stay. I used to reach to change it by reflex, like I knew better than the moment. But you leaned back and let it breathe, and I followed without knowing. The chorus hit and we both laughed, like we finally got the point of it. Now it's the song we don't skip anymore. Find myself waiting for that opening chord. Every time it starts I see that quiet room and you with me. Yeah, it's the song we don't skip anymore. Turn a passing track into something more. Didn't plan it, but we stayed all the way, all the way. Your jacket's still here on the chair tonight, and I let it play every time. The song we didn't skip, we didn't skip.
Yeah, yellow lines one thin under passing feet. A takeaway cup cooling in my grip on the street. The signal blinks, counting down again. A bakery bag swings with the scent of bread within. A taxi idles, then rolls away. The light leans softly on the end of day. I was moving fast, just another block to cross. Then you said something simple and I stopped. What you said at the crosswalk stayed all afternoon, like sunlight on the pavement holding one clear tune. The red hand flashing, but I didn't walk. What you said at the crosswalk made the whole day softer as he caught in the breeze against the chalk. I keep hearing what you said at the crosswalk. A bus sighs open, then it pulls away. Two empty cups sit where we didn't stay. Someone shuts a book, they were halfway through. The corner grows quiet like it noticed too. The light turns green but the moment stays. Something settled in the smallest way. I was halfway gone, just passing through. Then the street felt smaller, standing there with you. What you said at the crosswalk stayed all afternoon, like shadows stretching long beneath the changing moon. The white paint fading where we chose to stop. What you said at the crosswalk, slow the ticking clock, a paper napkin drifting near the block. I keep hearing what you said at the crosswalk. Not a big line, nothing rehearsed, just a quiet kind of truth in a passing verse. The signal changed, but I stayed a beat, let the whole world move around my feet. What you said at the crosswalk followed every street, in the rhythm of my steps and the shuffle of my feet. The painted lines behind us, but the feeling stayed in the space between the words you chose to say. Every time I pass that corner where we talked, I still carry what you said at the crosswalk.
The streetlight outside room 12 flickers on cue as the hallway quiets and the footsteps thin. A paper cup leaves a ring on the windowsill. Curtains half drawn, letting amber in. I was rushing through the evening air, keys in hand, not meaning to stay. But the light caught dust like it wanted me there, and the night slowed down in a different way. The streetlight outside room 12 paints the floor in a steady gold. A chair left turned like someone just left, but the moment's asking me to hold in that soft uneven glow where nothing needs to move or prove. The streetlight outside room 12 made a quiet kind of room. A book lies open where the spine gave in, pages lifting with the window breeze. Someone stayed longer than they planned tonight. You can tell from the cup and the cooling tea. The music changed down the street below, but it barely reached this side. I stopped checking where I had to go and let the silence settle wide. The streetlight outside room 12 draws a line across the wooden floor. A shadow shifts where the curtain fell, like it's been here all before. In that soft, uneven glow where nothing needs to move or prove. The streetlight outside room 12 made a quiet kind of room. It's not about who's coming back or what I thought I had to do. It's just the way the light leans in and makes the ordinary new. The streetlight outside room 12 keeps the night from feeling cold. A simple glow on